This is Marco.
And this is Brandon. We're going to be doing a little card clash on Megabytes today.
Megabytes. Card Clash. What is Card Clash? Brandon, tell us all about Card Clash.
Well, it's a card game, and it will probably seem really familiar to other games you've played, but it's got a way of teaching how to use AWS services architecturally and how they fit together. So, great tool if you're trying to learn about AWS, study for an exam, and you can see we have a few different choices in terms of game levels.
I think we should start like at a very basic level.
So like the practitioner?
Cloud practitioner. Yeah, cloud practitioner I think is the right way to go. And what happens at cloud practitioner?
It's really, as it says, it's high level, and our opponent is Miss Gorilla.
Miss Gorilla.
All right, so we have different levels here, just like a game. So we can start with this first level. You can see we're going to be working with auto-scaling EC2, the elastic load balancer, RDS. Let's see what happens here.
Hint, keep a spare energy card in your hand. So what's a spare? What's an energy card? Let's start with that.
Well, the energy is what you're going to need, and that's represented by this 3 down in the lower left for us and the 3 for Miss Gorilla. That's what you need to be able to actually play the cards. Mm-hmm. So you can actually run out of energy, you can have the right cards, but you can't fix it. So let's take a look at the architecture here. We can see we've got our region, our VPC spanning 2 availability zones, and we have this point of entry. And if we click on that, we're looking for a distribute network traffic to improve application scalability. Underneath that, ensure that you have the correct number of EC2 instances available. Secure sizable compute capacity for virtually any workload. And configure, manage, and scale a cloud-based relational database with a highly efficient manner.
So basically, to place these cards, the number is the amount of energy that we're going to use when we place them, correct?
Yes, and you can see, let's grab the load balance here just as an example. If we wanted to put that in 3, which I think we can agree that's where it ought to go, it would take us 3 energy, and that would put us at 0. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any energy cards to raise that up.
Mm-hmm.
There's one other thing that can happen here. She could steal our resources, Miss Gorilla, if we don't secure them. So we have an IAM card,
right?
What's that?
And we can steal hers as well.
That's right. So security is not something that you can avoid, but you can see that would take a 4th energy.
4th energy. Cool.
Or we could start further down the line and maybe build from the relational database service and then secure it, because that's only 2 points plus the 1 security.
Yeah, I think that's the way we should go, is place something and secure it and just use all of our 3 points and then hope for the best.
Okay. So we'll place RDS on the primary database, and then we'll put IAM on top of RDS, and you can see it's got that blue around it. That means she can't steal it. But here's the tricky part. We can have 6 cards at all times, and we'll be issued 2 new ones, but we also want to be able to try and get more energy cards. Mm-hmm. So just as an example, I could take this extra RDS and throw it away, and then we could potentially have a better chance of getting that energy card next round.
Cool. Okay, let's end our turn. Let's see what she does.
All right. Oh, now see, she got an energy card right away. All right, so she took the read replica, the RDS. Oh, wow, we did not get... Okay, so we're given 1 energy at the beginning of every turn, but we didn't get any energy cards.
So what do we do now?
Well, so like we can look at this and we can see there's no serverless here.
Yeah.
We can throw
It's a
Lambda.
classic 3-tier application.
Yep.
Well, actually 2-tier
It's really
web and
two.
database because the load balancer tier is like it's a service, right?
Um, and then some of these we can maybe throw away one of the EC2 instances just because we really need those energy cards. So because we can't do anything, so we're just going to end our turn.
Would it make sense to also throw away the other RDS database because she's already placed it, or are we going to risk it?
So we could steal it from her with 3 because she doesn't have it secured.
Yeah.
So, but you're
Are we
right.
going to
Maybe we
get,
should prioritize new stuff.
yeah, are we going to get enough energy cards to actually steal?
Right.
Is the real
Okay.
question.
I'm buying what you're selling.
Yeah.
So let's try that.
Oh, she's got all the energy cards, huh?
Yeah, she does very well. All right. Hopefully we get some energy. We did not.
Ah,
Whew.
well, we could place an EC2 instance and hope for the best.
An unsecured instance.
I mean, we could. I'm not saying we should. I'm saying we could. But what's our score? It's 4-2. So it'll be 2-2.
Yep.
She has enough energy to to place another 3-point card. So even if we place, the outcome would be a tie at worst. And we lose. I mean, a tie at best, and we lose at worst. If she
Yeah.
places 2 things that are valued at 3. So I think we could wait. We could get rid of some of the stuff that we have. We have surplus auto scaling. We have surplus instances. We could throw those away and then hope for the best.
And I suggest we keep IAM because you always need security and they're not always easy to come by.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Who's AJ?
All right, where do you see AJ?
There was a girl crossing the street on a skateboard. You'll see it in the recording
Okay.
with a AJ on her shirt.
Ah, here we go. Now we've got
There we
energy.
go.
So now you can see we've gone up to 5 energy.
Yeah, so now we need to do something about this.
Yeah, well, we could claim the load balancer or auto scaling and secure it.
Yeah, but then we expose ourselves to a risk of losing because we only get to 5 points if we do that.
True. So you're saying you'd like to steal an instance and secure it?
You're hearing me.
All right, so if we go like that,
Yeah,
we stole the instance
yeah.
and we secure it.
There we go. And we can throw away an instance now at this point because now we're like 4-on-4, right?
True.
And it takes 3 to steal an instance and 3 to place an auto scaling group and an ELB.
Yep. Now you see what she just did? She got mad, did the slam, and one of the unsecured tools became available there.
One of hers, yeah.
Yep, because we secured ours.
Yeah.
So we got another CLI, so now we're at 4 points. And we have a management console, which is +1 energy, but you can only do one at a time, or one per turn. Should we...
So there's 2 options, right? We play auto scaling and we secure it. That's option number 1.
Probably be smart.
We go basically to we put ourselves in a position where we can't lose. She can't steal, but she can tie if she has an EC2 instance. On the other hand, how much energy does she have? She's got 4. So on the other hand, we could take her ELB, not secure it, take the 3 points away, and then force her to steal it back.
Well, because if she has the auto scaling and an EC2, same outcome, she's just going to...
She needs 5 points. Yeah, she's going to have high points next turn.
Yep.
So, I don't know. It's that's the two options that I see here.
I just take the auto scaling personally. That's what I'd.
Let's do it. Let's play it safe. Auto scaling and secure. Let's play it safe. We can throw away the IAM at least.
Well, you just never know.
Well, I
Oh
mean, at this
wow.
point, ooh,
Oh,
she's
she
securing
secured
it.
her RDS instance.
At
That's
this point, we really just need a EC2 instance, and there we go. Management console and EC2 instance, and we've won. Boom, 5-9. All right, all right. I really wish they make this game
competitive.
one-on-one game. I would definitely prefer to use my fast and loose tactics on you than on the gorilla. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a nice way to figure out
it's
how
pretty
the
fun.
architectural practices work.
Maybe we should swap out of the cloud practitioner and do something more advanced.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Should we try serverless?
We can. We're fighting the ducky.
I don't think I've ever done this one. Let's see, we've got our
There you
API
go.
gateway, CloudFront, Cognito, DynamoDB, Lambda, and S3. Oh yes, that must be Ducky.
There he is.
All right, so we've got. Oh, apparently it's the duck's turn.
Single page application.
So we've got secure delivery content. Okay. Static content object storage. API. Implement secure, frictionless customer identity and access management that scales. Fast SQL, NoSQL, or a fast, flexible NoSQL database. Okay. So let's play our energy.
Yeah.
And let's see. Everything is 2 points here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to guess that Cognito is the authentication tool.
Yes.
DynamoDB in the back. I'm guessing CloudFront, API Gateway, and S3.
S3.
So
Yes, it's pretty straightforward. We just have to place and secure and
we
for
don't
more
need Lambda.
points.
We don't need Lambda, right?
We might want to steal at some point. Remember, we don't want to get into a
That's
position.
true.
It's
That's
10
true.
points, right? So it's going to be 6-4. It's going to be 2-8. It's going to be, 10-0 at the end of the day.
All right, so we're in a bit of a pickle here because we were given no security.
Yeah, well,
What do you mean?
let's just place 2.
Security, schmearity, who cares?
Security shmurdy. Let's play that in reality. Obviously, we wouldn't.
Hey,
But
we are playing
it's a
against a
game.
giant
We
rubber
wanna
duck.
win.
It doesn't get more real than this, Marco. All right, what pick your poison then. What do you want to?
Dynamo and Cognito.
Dynamo
Yeah.
and Cognito.
Yeah.
All right, do as we say, not as we do, people. This is not how you should
And
do it.
I would go fast and loose, Marco style, and throw away DynamoDB. And maybe even throw away the Lambda and just focus on the 3 new things because we have API Gateway. And we have 0 energy, and we need more energy cards, right?
Okay, so there's its unsecured API gateway. It just threw away, I
It's
think,
throwing
global.
a CloudFront.
I saw it throw CloudFront. Yeah, that's an interesting
Lucky.
choice.
All right, we need that management console.
So we've got a CloudFront, and we got security. What was I even thinking? Yeah, we could take CloudFront.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
We're going to end up in a tie with the
Okay,
way.
so it's 12 points, not 10 points. I was wrong before. I can't calculate in my head on Fridays, I guess. And then just throw away everything but security throw away. Or you know what? Let's if we need to just throw away everything. It doesn't matter. Throw away everything. Who gets the bucket wins, right? It's either we are gonna win or we're gonna tie it.
We should keep security just in case.
Okay, keep security. Fair
Feels
enough.
weird throwing IAM away.
Throwing an IM away is the Marco way.
Oh, see what happened?
You throw
Marco.
the CLI away. Well, there's the CLI. And the IAM doesn't help us at all, but we can steal something back. We could steal the API gateway because otherwise it's just a tie. We can't win, right?
Yes.
Throw away everything but the bucket. The IAM isn't helping in this situation. I know the best practice
Well,
is
so if
securing is a
we'd
job
listened
zero.
and we'd secured, we wouldn't have lost the
Secure it is,
cognito.
well, yeah, but we don't have the energy to secure it. We're going to production.
Oh, see, look who's securing their stuff.
Well, yeah, he's securing it, but still, we have 6 points.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, damn it.
Bad duck.
What did we lose? We still have 4 points. We're good.
I'm not sure what we do with this.
All right, CLI. Throw the CLI. Yeah, throw the ducky away. We don't need ducky. Throw the CLI. Place the S3 bucket. And I'll let you secure it this time if you really want to.
Oh, I really want to, Marco. You've no idea how much I want to.
There you go.
I feel like we've learned a valuable lesson about using security, right, Marco?
I feel we have, yeah. I feel that we have, and I feel that we'll have to use another security to secure our REST API as well. Won't we?
Yeah.
Does the REST API take a WAF? API gateway. Can the
Yeah.
WAF be?
So if you click on it, it gives
Yeah,
you
I
the.
can. Use the WAF for the API gateway.
Web application firewall activated.
Yep. Okay, we can drop the API gateway, it's secured. We can drop the EC2, it's secured. Keep the IAM, I know. And we
And-
still have 1 point, and at least, well, if we get a CLI or something, we can place a Lambda. Well, even if management console, we can place a Lambda and an IAM on top of it. The Brandon way. Actually, we can win. We can tie. Okay, this is a problem. The only thing that we can do is tie right now, so we need to steal. And we don't have.
We don't
the
have enough
energy
points.
to steal. We don't have the energy to steal. We have way too many IAMs. We can throw away the bucket. We keep the CloudFront. We keep the Lambda. We need to steal, because if we place Lambda, ain't gonna do anything, right? And if the ducky places Lambda, well, then we lose anyway. So
Yes.
we tie or lose, that's the same for us. Uh-oh. Danger zone.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, at least now we can steal. We can steal the CloudFront and secure it. There we go. Steal CloudFront, and if you want, we can secure it. And now we just throw away Dynamo, throw away 1 Lambda, because all we need to place is Lambda,
And then we are the champions.
and then we win. Or Ducky places Lambda and we tie. Now, worst case scenario is tie. Best case scenario, we win. There we go, tie.
Oh.
Gonna be a tie.
Well, I think we've learned a valuable lesson about using security, right, Marco? See, folks, fast and loose will only get you so far in life.
For sure. I'm gonna say yes. We've learned a valuable lesson about security, but how else are you gonna learn other than by experimenting?
That's fair. Should we try that again and use a
try that
slightly
again.
different
That was fun.
strategy?
We'll do Brandon's strategy.
Okay. And by Brandon's strategy, you mean best practice?
Best practices, yes, sir. As long as we can steal something, I'm good with that.
Okay, we can arrange for that. All right, so we've got a WAF. I'm thinking API gateway plus
Sure.
WAF.
Sure. API gateway with a WAF. Sounds like the right solution. We can throw the other API gateway away because it's secure.
You
I don't
don't
think
need
we have
RDS at
RDS
all.
here.
Okay, and we're going to
There
hold
you go.
back that card till we can secure it.
All right. I mean, we did get a management console, sorry, a CLI this time, which gave us two energy cards, two energy points, which we didn't have before. So
That's right.
it's a completely different story. There we go, management console.
Okay. So let's see. Oh man, we don't have now we don't have any security.
Yeah. Well, if we stole CloudFront web application firewall, no, we have Cognito, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have
Okay.
Cognito twice, so we can probably get
So
rid
we
of one
can
of those.
get rid of one Cognito.
Yeah, all we can do is really roll again.
Let's roll the dice.
Or the cards, as it we're rolling the cards.
Roll the cards. Show us the dice.
Go fish. Oh,
So we can
there we
go ahead
go.
and tie.
There you go. This is the dream you were hoping for. Check it out. See, we
Yeah, let's do
steal
it.
CloudFront, and we secure CloudFront.
Perfect. Yeah. We're. I mean, potentially we will need. We need to place two, right? To win.
Yep.
So
So I'll hold on to Cognito because I
yeah,
know how
just
much
in
you'd like to
case.
steal it from them because they
We're gonna
didn't.
have to steal something potentially.
Yeah,
So
the
yeah,
duck
hold
didn't
on.
secure it. Oh,
Yeah.
I
Well.
think he heard you.
Yep.
Ooh.
He's gonna blow his bucket away, and the rest is secured. So yeah, that worked
Oh,
out.
we're losing some cards there.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Losing cards. At least we're not losing energy. So we can place Lambda and IAM. We ain't gonna need either of these. Can't put Cognito on because it's secured. Can't put WAF on. Yep. Just drop
Um,
DynamoDB and we win. That's it. There we go. If you don't have IAM to secure it, but the game's over anyway. Congratulations. I spoke to the developers for Car Clash.
really?
Yeah,
Did you
and
give
I
them a
said
piece of their mind, or did you help?
no. I said that I have some cool ideas of what you could do with Card Clash. Two types of cards. One is like a misconfigured IAM policy, which you could
Oh,
which you could apply onto like an IAM secured resource. So you drop the IAM resource off, like a
yeah,
star policy for a bucket or whatever. Misconfiguration, and then hacker would be something that can compromise your WAF protected resource.
there you go. Oh
Right?
well,
Misconfigured policy if you put IAM on it, and then hacker if you've got a WAF, they hack your WAF so that they unsecure they're not stealing. You're not stealing the, let's say, CloudFront protected with WAF. You need to know that it was protected with WAF to put a hacker on it. And if it's protected with IAM, then you need to go misconfigure the IAM policy on it. And then you unsecure the resource so you can steal it.
yeah, that would be
Yeah. And I
fun.
told them that we need more energy for that to work. We need more energy cards and a bigger range of energy values.
Yeah,
Bigger
you
range
could
because
have
like 1, 2, and 3 energy values doesn't make a lot of
the
sense. You need
four
like
energy if you use Amazon Q.
yeah. So they were receptive to they were receptive to those ideas. And I also said that it needs to be a PvP.
Yes. Oh,
And
the insults we could trade, Marco, if it was.
um, they're receptive to the idea, is all I'm gonna say, to make this a PvP game. So once it becomes, once it goes to, if they ever decide to, if they ever decide to, um, I said that I know somebody who would be willing to demo, who is needing to do
Indeed.
some beta testing of the PvP version.
Yes, would love that.
Yeah, if
All
it ever
right.
goes to production. So, and if it ever, if any of those ever happen, I mean, I think they would spice up the game. Because after you secure the resource, it's yours, right?
Right.
It's, and it could be like an advanced version, a paid version for all I care, right?
Or
Doesn't
just
need to be a free game.
little things like you have your bucket secured, but you have that one person who made a public bucket, and now you've got a compromised bucket to.
Yeah. And of course, this is built on the AWS Builder cards, actual physical cards,
Hey, are
which
those cards 2 player?
yep, these are 2 to 4 players. I've got the
That's what we could do. If we both had a stack, we could project on our desks and do the cards that way.
we will both have a stack as soon as I get my other stack to you.
Perfect. There we go.
Yeah, whenever we get the opportunity to meet at some point at some event, whatever happens, whatever the closest location will be at, I'm gonna be bringing the cards. I'm not opening them. We'll do the unboxings together.
Nice.
I don't
There.
want to know what's in there. I kind of have an idea because there was like a demo kit at reInvent, but I didn't open it yet. So it's a special moment I want to share with you, Brandon.
Perfect. That sounds fun.
We'll have a megabyte builder card unwrapping, and we've got the base pack plus the generative AI add-on.
Ooh,
Generative AI.
very cool.
Yeah, there's another one. There was like a serverless add-on, but they ran out by the time I was able to get from Mandalay Bay to the main event. Was like all robbed out.
I had a similar experience once with a red hat, but we won't get into that story.
Oh, I'm bringing the red hat. Next
You
time,
earned it.
next time I'm with you. I'm bringing the red hat, of course. We're gonna take that challenge on.
Exactly.
And at some point, we'll tell the viewers what the red hat challenge is.
Yeah. Or not.
Maybe.
Or not.
Maybe at some point.
All right.
Cool.
All right. Do we want to play this fast and loose and see if we can just hammer out a solution? Like
Fast and loose.
just go all
I
in?
want to do it fast and loose. We've got a lot of energy points, and I want to just go and push it really hard. So we got what? Item modifications. Is that like a DynamoDB stream?
Captures a time-ordered sequence of item level. Yeah, I think that's a stream.
That's a DynamoDB stream, and the data processing is the lambda function,
Yes.
and the source table and the target table are both
Dynamo.
DynamoDB.
Yes.
Oh, like, okay, so don't. I get it. That's cool, but we've got a source DynamoDB table. Then we're taking modifications of items, and we're feeding them into another DynamoDB table.
Yeah, maybe for like a global table that's on the other side of the world, or I mean, it could be
Yeah,
anything.
but why not just write directly to the global table? It could be like I see what it is. You know what it could be? It could be like a transaction table. The source table could be a transaction table that has like a TTL of, 1 day, 2 days, whatever. And then all the modifications are captured into the stream, and then you're sending them through the Lambda into the target table, which is like a CQRS, like a command query resource separation design.
Yeah, or the target table has more than one source table feeding to it, and it's just where all the everything gets dumped. But yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah, but the item modifications, right? Whatever is happening in the stream, you're going to have all the writes, all the updates, and all the deletes in the item modification. That's going to be pushed in. So basically, everything you write, update, or delete in the source table is going to be reflected in the target table.
yep, it's a continual emission of data.
Yeah. I think that the total items target table in this scenario is like a CQRS because you're capturing into the source table, right? You're doing just updates, you're just doing the inserts and updates. Let's say this is a point of sale system. It's sending all the sale into the source table. It's got write permissions to update and insert. It doesn't have any permissions to delete. Right? So all the commands are captured on the source table and they're only expired via TTL, via time to live in the table.
That could
So
be.
because they're going to expire, because you can't, there's no ability to delete. Nobody has delete permissions. So the only way you delete from the source table is by TTL. So that's why you feed the modifications into the Lambda function through the stream so that it captures all the data and stores it into the target table. And now here, you can do querying from other systems and you're isolating your point of sale from your, let's say, web app for banking. On the other hand, where the users can actually see their current transactions, committed transactions, whatever you have. That I think is a scenario for like having two DynamoDB tables. Otherwise, I would expect the target table to be something like Redshift. If you're doing aggregation, let's say you're doing 5-minute aggregation of all items, well then why not load to Redshift? You get a Lambda loader for Redshift, and you bulk aggregate straight into Redshift. Because it seems like the total items table is going to be very big at the end of the day. So that's how I would do it, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Just a
it
dude.
seems reasonable.
Just a dude. All right, let's play it.
Oh, interesting. That's a new feature. Okay. What are you thinking? Maybe
Fast and loose.
should we grab a Lambda and a table?
Yeah, Lambda and a table, and we're going to need...
Whoops.
That's a stream. You just lost an energy, man.
That's...
You just lost us an energy.
I grabbed the wrong one, put it in the wrong place.
Yeah.
That's the one.
DynamoDB streams, I think it's going to be a separate card.
Yep, I think you're right. I haven't seen it before, but you're right. It'll be a stream.
Well, this game does get updated, so yeah, let's place the DynamoDB in either of the tables.
We don't have enough energy because I misclicked.
Oh, you messed up. Okay, that's fine.
Not as fast and loose as it probably should have been. Let the record show.
It's all recorded. It's all recorded.
People are like, these are the type of people who would copy and paste code without actually reading the code. That's, yeah. Oh, there you go. You were right. It streams.
Yeah, DynamoDB streams.
Special
there
card.
It's a new card.
All right. So now let's claim the streams.
Yeah. We can throw away one API gateway.
We're playing fast and loose. What do we need security
fast and
for?
Loose. Okay, no IAM cards.
Yeah.
There we go.
Let's find out what happened. Uh-oh.
Oh, ducky. 6 to 4. If we get one energy, we place gateway and we're good. Yes, there we go. It's a win. It's a win. Just place the API gateway and we're good. Oh, 9 points even. Yeah.
Wow.
There we go. Fast and loose. See? Sometimes it works.
Yeah, sometimes you just ignore security and everything works out. This is
not in production.
I cannot overemphasize. This is pre-prod. Okay.
Yeah, experiment, right? We always tell
Yes,
people to experiment.
experiment.
See what happens if you expose your API gate without configuring some access. See what
Yeah.
happens when you share your root account user.
Yep. Or
Well,
even
Brett,
funny things like not modifying a security group at all. How to make an instance totally isolated in one easy step.
yeah,
All right, you want to keep going on this one?
yeah. Let's try one more. Let's try another four. Let's do level 4. What is the difference? Oh, Kinesis data streams. Yay.
It's interesting too, just looking at the board. There's no availability zones. There's no VPCs, no route tables. It's all just serverless. It's API driven in this case.
Yep.
All
And also,
right.
did you know that you could get 2.5 million free stream read requests per month on DynamoDB tables?
I did not know that. I knew
Yeah,
Lambda had a generous free.
that's a always free tier, not a 12-month free tier.
That's nice.
DynamoDB has a very generous free tier, 25 gigabytes of data stored in DynamoDB, 25 read and write capacity units, 25 of each,
Nice.
and 2.5 million free stream read requests.
That's a small business at that point.
That's a small business. That's 100,000 requests per business day. That's a big business.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's a big business. But it's for one table, for one account, for one thing, right? All right, what do we have? We've got
like
two DynamoDB tables. We got
couple
two
tables, a
lambdas.
Lambda. I'm guessing this is streams again.
Yeah, that's our. Ooh. That is your Kinesis data streams.
So we didn't get an API gateway. We don't have anything by Kinesis. We could use one of the Lambda functions.
We could. We could. We could.
Or grab a
So
table.
what are we doing? Are we playing by the rules, by the book, or security?
We could split the difference.
We could split the difference. So we place one DynamoDB table, one Lambda, and then secure one of them.
Okay.
Because we have 5 energy points.
Just want to make sure I actually click on the right one.
You don't want to have a repeat of the DynamoDB stream.
The DynamoDB streams debacle of 25.
You're keeping the lambdas?
Apparently.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I hope you're not suggesting I forgot them there.
No, that's just the interesting strategy. What can I say?
All right, so we got streams. You're right. We can probably get rid of the lambdas.
At least one. No, you could keep another one just
to steal.
We will need to steal something, because right now we're again close to a tie. To be perfectly honest.
All right.
We need more energy.
So we end our turn now.
We need more energy. You know what? We need to make it to when the ducky gets angry and empties the board.
Yes. We all live for
That's
that.
what we need to get to.
We enrage the duck.
Do we know what number of turns it is to enrage the duck?
No. I haven't paid that close attention. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. It might be like as it approaches endgame too.
I think it's like 5 turns or something like that. Okay, we're gonna need to steal something.
How about a nice lambda function?
We can steal a lambda function, yeah. And then throw away one of the Kinesis, throw away one of the dynamos, keep the API gateway. And now we're in a path to winning, but we need to get like a CLI to get in 2 extra points.
Yes, we can win as long as he doesn't win first.
Yeah. Because it's 6-5. He wins, it's going to be 8-6. We win, it's going to be 9-5.
Ooh, He took his lambda back.
Or not. We're gonna have to steal something again. Oh,
He's
perfect.
he.
That's
We're
what I was
seeing
hoping
enraged
for.
duct.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. This levels the playing field. Oh, and he left us with the API gateway.
Yes,
Beautiful,
we got
beautiful.
ducked.
We got ducked pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. API gateway. I'd say we go API gateway. And then we'll have enough to even steal a lambda if we want to. If we need to, there's 5 points to grab. That's great.
3
If we
points
get
to
data
grab.
streams, we win. You just threw away data streams. Yeah, we're gonna need to steal. And I'm gonna say secure it.
Never
And
thought I'd
throw
hear
away
you
the
say that,
lambda
Marco.
now. Throw away the lambda, because we can't do anything with lambdas. But keep the WAF.
Yeah.
Hey, might as well secure it next turn if we have an extra point left.
Yep. Makes sense.
Unless he places data streams, and yeah, it's done. It's a tie. It's a tie. Well, at least we didn't lose.
Didn't we, Marco? Didn't we?
Indeed. A tie is a loss.
Yep.
Indeed. Okay, let's try the solutions architect.
You've had enough serverless.
Yeah, we want to explore the world of Card Clash, right?
Yes.
We'll explore the world of Card Clash. We'll see what options we have, and then in the future videos, we're gonna focus more on the advanced levels, on like Gen AI. Well, we'll take a look at the basic Gen AI levels, but levels above 4, we'll do them in the future videos. All right, Route 53. So I like this design. This is a really cool design. A lot of times I'm in class and I'm talking about the load balancer, and people go like, okay, so there's no global load balancer. And then I say, well, no, there isn't one, but you route requests to your regional load balancers because there's really good reasons to do that. Number one, you might not want to have all your users in the same region. You might want to have affinity to a specific country that has residency or sovereignty laws for their data. Like you might want to comply with GDPR in Europe. You might want to comply with the cloud law in the US. You want to comply with the Singapore residency or the sovereignty laws in India. So what you'll need to do is, if you have a global application, a global load balancer, hey, do you have control over where it's sending all of your individuals? No, it's just sending them to some region. So here you got Route 53, and that detects where the user's coming from, which country, and it's going to direct them into the right country or into the right region that's going to comply with their laws, with the local laws and regulations. Number two, resiliency. When you have a global load balancer and one region goes down, your global load balancer is kind of working. Do you really know whether it's working or not? Do you know whether it's because that region went down, or did you configure something wrong, or what's happening right now? Just like global networks, right? Having an overlay network across the globe, suddenly you see like half of your instances are not. So what's the reason behind it? Is it a misconfiguration? Is it the network device on that end, or is it that region going down? When you have failures, you want to have complete failures. It either works or it doesn't work. It doesn't work like half work. So here, this design is a typical example of how, when you're building application in a resilient manner from the infrastructure side, you put like all the resources that have the same potential fault, like the same power, the same ISP providers, the same external factors that can affect them, you put them in the same bucket. So your ELB is regional. Even if the whole region goes down, you will have other regions that you can route the traffic through Route 53. And literally putting this one additional step, putting the DNS in between your load balancers, it's essentially almost free. It's essentially almost free. And the global load balancer cost over a regular load balancer cost is the thing that would make, in my opinion, makes using something like a global load balancer unreasonable. It's not doesn't fit like the best practices for building resilient applications. So yeah, that was my 5 cents for today.
Well said. All right, so I'm getting maybe
I
you
was
want to
hoping for
place
an
the
indeed.
Route 53 or tool here.
I just get a well said. I don't get an indeed.
Indeed.
Thank you. No, I mean it doesn't mean anything if I have to ask for it, right?
Yes.
You know that, right? You
So
know that it
indeed,
doesn't mean as
indeed is
much.
how I end things. I didn't want to end it, so I was like,
True,
well
true,
said, well
true. We
said.
didn't have, yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yes, 100%. All right, should we claim Route 53?
Let's claim Route 53. Let's go and start at the cone of the traffic. How many edge locations are there now?
Yeah.
How many? Do we know?
Someone does. I don't. It's hundreds of points of
Yeah.
presence.
The last I checked, it was like over 550 points of presence.
Hey, look, we could secure it.
We should secure it. I think that if you want to secure anything, it's your edge resources where you're accepting the traffic. If there's over 500 locations, then an attacker needs to go and deal with 500 different endpoints that they need to overwhelm. So show me an attacker that can DDoS that. It has to be a nation state.
A lot of resources. Should we get rid of one of the instances?
We're gonna need a lot of instances to be perfectly honest. One, two, three, four instances. What's that part on the right side? No instance running.
I'm guessing that this is an example. Let's see. Secure with
Oh,
sizable
you know what it is?
pilot light.
Like a pilot light,
I think it's
isn't it?
pilot light. Yep.
Yeah. So it's
So
a
this
pilot light. Yeah.
this
It
is
even says on
actually, I
top,
think
like
this is a
Marco doesn't
standby
need
region.
things.
It's a failover standby region.
Yeah. Do you want to explain pilot light?
Yeah, it's taking advantage of the way you get charged to use resources in AWS. So on the right hand side here, you can see it's almost a perfect mirror of what's going on the left. But these resources will be shut off, and then if this ever fails, Route 53 can fail over the traffic to the other region, and your downtime is the amount of time, the minutes it takes the instance to spin back up. So it's a very cost effective way to protect yourself against potential outages.
Would you automatically fail over?
No, that requires some configuration. And if you go to the management console and you search Pilot Light, it's not going to tell you. This is a concept that you can implement, not something that's out of the box, just you turn it on and it happens.
I mean, you could do health checking on Route 53, right?
Oh, absolutely.
But what would it do? It would have like two sites that are down. Because if your primary fails, your secondary, there's no instances running, right? So nothing is responding.
Right. So that's why you have the auto scaling group in place there
Yeah.
because and then of course you can see the replica here that's going to get promoted to the primary. It's like
Yeah.
it's waited its whole life to be promoted. It's finally the leader. It's gotten the promotion it's
Your
been
data
waiting
is
for.
on the other side, right? So this scenario is you've got an SLA where you need to be back in minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that range. So it'll take a
Yeah,
couple
five
minutes.
5 minutes is realistic because, well, yeah, 10 minutes is more realistic because you
Yep,
need to first detect that it failed.
it's the failed health check, which Route
Yeah,
53 will pick up on, and then it starts rerouting the traffic, and then the amount of time it takes for your instances to run.
to spin up. Yeah, your application is gonna be down for a few minutes in this scenario.
Yep.
I mean, you're not gonna detect that it's failed. I did like a little bit of back in the day. I did a little bit of I was rotation on call, and the way we had our all our alarms set up, yeah, we had like a 15-minute um, 15-minute response time, and we waited for 10 minutes for the system to be down for 10 minutes before we acted, because sometimes things will be down and it's actually up, it's running, but it's going to be down for a few minutes, but then it's going to spin back up because there was a transit issue, because the monitoring just got overwhelmed at that moment in time. The instance just got hit by 100%, and it's just processing something and it's going to recover. And a lot of times, when you have like a recovery point objective defined in minutes, you can just go up to that, almost that maximum of minutes before you start taking actions. So really, it's not that this takes a long time to spin up. It's that you want to give the application in the primary just enough time for it to auto recover by itself before you start recovering, because you could do more damage by recovering. Because here you need to manually recover. You need to spin up that auto scaling group. You need to promote that replica, and that could mean potential loss of data. The replication itself, again, depending on what database you're using, this could be a replica of some kind of MySQL or something that could be lagging by tens of seconds behind the primary, and it's in another region, so it's at least several 10 milliseconds behind. And I would say more likely, if it's like an undersized database, you're going to be, a few dozen seconds behind the primary.
Scaling and
Yeah. So Pilot Light, great for cost effectiveness, but the recovery itself, I wouldn't automate it. I would respond to it, and I would first try to wait and just, not wake up anybody at 4 a.m. just because there's one little error.
That right there.
I would wait like 2 5-minute periods, and if there's 2 5-minute periods, you raise the alarm, you wake the person up, and then they have 5 minutes to get online and start the recovery to the other side.
That right there is the textbook definition of why automation is helpful, because you don't have to wake people up. But to that point, you can set CloudWatch alarms even off of your log events, and you can tell it the severity at which, like, you're right, everything's gone, we need to move over to the other region, or it's worth waking someone up for the final approval. But yeah, you have that luxury of choice.
What if the region fails so dramatically? Not that happens, not that it has ever happened, but it's not impossible. What if the region fails so dramatically that even CloudWatch doesn't respond, doesn't give you an alarm, right?
So that's a good question. So, like, I know there are some tools that we expect to approach zero downtime, like Route 53. Yeah. Its job is to function even if there's a catastrophic outage. I'm not sure what it looks like with CloudWatch in a particular region. This is probably why it makes sense for us to be forwarding our logs to a central location that isn't necessarily only in one spot.
So what I do in this kind of situations, what I traditionally did in these kinds of situations, I don't build these anymore. I would watch the other region. I would always watch from the Pilot Light region. I would have like one CloudWatch agent from the primary sending to the other region, or I would just have like a small little instance or something that's just pinging the application and checking its health over to the other region from the secondary region. That's cost effective. You could go in the arbitrary position where you've got a third instance in a third region that's watching both, right? You could even go further and say you've got two other regions that are watching these two regions, and they have to agree on what's true. You can go then a quorum of 3 instances.
Yeah.
Right? So you can complicate this as much as you want, but to simplify things,
and we are,
I would always have like a regional watchdog on just CloudWatch saying, hey, the application's up, the application's down, and then a backup in the other region that just looks at the other region and says, yep, it looks like it's up, or it says, no, it looks like it's down. So if I don't get an answer from the region, but I do get an answer from the Pilot Light region saying this looks like the other region's down, I would still go and check it after 10 minutes. I'd still go and look at the computer and say, oh, it's just the secondary region. It has a network transit issue and it's not seeing the primary region. It's not that the primary region is down, right? So you make a decision in this kind of situation where it's the other region is passive. You got to make the decision. You would tend to not want to automate a pilot light fully. I wouldn't go and automate a pilot light fully. I would go like at least a weighted distribution to two regions if I wanted to automate fully, where instead of a pilot light, you actually have like 10% of the resources always running in the secondary region, and they're taking 10% of the requests. And you even go in a you could put like a different logic in where only read requests are passed to the secondary region, so that it can actually read off the local replica,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, see,
So
the problem, and this is, I'm sure, a problem that other people can relate to, is when you have something like that, and it, like, once, twice a week, you get woken up at 2, 3 in the morning, it's like you get burned out and you silence it.
well, no, you don't.
Well, you try and modify it in such a way, but you end up missing things that's why you got to find
That's
that
why I need
balance
to
that's
wait for
right.
that 10 minute.
Yeah, you got to find that balance that's right for you and your company, whether it's worth disturbing you in the dead of night or whether you just like to see it fail over. Or, yeah,
I mean, if you're automating failovers, you have to have running resources. You have to have a automated failover for the database as well. You have to have something like Aurora, which can keep the replication lag under 1 second with physical replication. So you're investing a lot more into the infrastructure. Investing a lot more into the automation for this to actually work and fail over by itself, to not wake up some people. Yeah, it's got to be a mission critical application.
yeah,
But a lot of businesses are like either don't know how to build that, they don't want to invest into something like that. A lot of it is a managed service provider who just that's what I worked for. I worked for a managed service
there you go.
provider. We would inherit environments and we'd have to keep them alive, right? The some of them were patients on their deathbeds, and we would just have to wake up at 3 in the morning and fix them. And there was no in a managed service provider scenario when you're on call, you're on call.
Yeah,
We've had people that didn't make it on call. You've got a secondary on call when the primary doesn't pick up. And then when number three was our CIO, the third person on call, if the phone would, if the case wouldn't have been picked up within like, I think like 30 minutes, the two people had, so it was the 10 minutes at the beginning, and then the first person had like a 15-minute, I'm on it kind of scenario. And no, that's like 5 minutes because we has to be in the SLA. So 10 minutes was the downtime, 5 minutes was the response time, even in the middle of the night. And then 30 minutes was the response time for the secondary. If the first one doesn't acknowledge it within 15 minutes, if the second one doesn't acknowledge it in 30 minutes, then the CIO would get a message in the middle of the night. And I don't think you silence an alarm in that kind of scenario. I don't think you silence that kind of you know what happens, right? To
yeah, yeah. No, I'm talking about like you're trying to set up an alarm because you're just being diligent for your application. I mean, obviously, if you're being paid for overnight overtime, whatever it is to be on call, that's a different. But the general burnout is the piece that I'm referring to there, where you just like, okay, I didn't need to know that. It's yeah, it hiccuped.
there are situations where there's too much alarming is causes alarm fatigue for sure.
Too much
Too much
alarming
alarming
is
does
simply
cause alarm
alarming.
fatigue, and alarm fatigue is a danger in our industry, and it's not only in our industry. It's like the car that always gives you a warning light for something that you don't need a warning light for,
Right. There's only
right?
so
It's
much I
like a
can
car
care about my
that,
gas cap being
hey,
loose.
your brakes your brakes are working fine, but you'll need to replace them in 20,000 miles.
Right. or
We're
the
gonna ignore that light
there's
until it's too late. Until your brakes don't work
yeah, there's
anymore.
no number of warning lights that will get me to care about my gas cap not being secured
There you
properly.
go.
Yeah.
There you go. Like, it's like it's first it's like a yellow light, and it turns orange, and it's like red, and it's like blinking red.
And then the
Then it
car
goes
stops.
and
It's like,
slaps you.
okay, you
Brandon, get
have
some
my
gas.
attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can tell from your story that we've had different experiences with on call. That's an impressive. Whenever I got asked to do something like that, it was always sort of like, "Hey, we're trying something new. Will you stay up with it?" No, I don't want to do that. Like, will you set an alarm on it? Like, okay, I'll set an alarm on it, but that's the most you're getting out of me because I'm not doing on call stuff. But it's just it's different when you're dealing, like you said, with people who are in their hospital beds and stuff.
Yeah.
The applications I worked on were never that important.
Oh, the applications I worked on. Remember, most of my career is from Eastern Europe.
Ah, okay. Say no
Remember,
more,
I've
I
I've
think.
only been in Canada for the past what 10 years now, almost. So a lot of my experience is with companies where, like like we talked about before, security and cost, but the cost is really the more
Yeah.
important one than the security. And they were more reactive to any kind of issues happening because too often you would see like, oh, we don't need that firewall until the CRM system was like locked out because somebody hacked it and said that, yeah, like you had a remote desktop open to your CRM system. All your customers are ours now. So what are you gonna do, right? So
Suddenly, cost move to the
suddenly
front with
cost is
security.
like $1,000 in Bitcoin to unlock it.
Yep.
Yeah.
At the time, it was like 8 bitcoins to hit $1,000. Yeah, I remember those
Uh,
days.
it was like let's say a, a quarter of a Bitcoin, let's say at the time.
Yeah.
And there's no Bitcoin ATMs.
No,
You'd have to go you'd have to go to great lengths to get yourself
you
some
had a
Bitcoin at that
special
time.
wallet, and you really needed to not lose the passcode on it.
Yeah, I learned about Bitcoin from some show in the UK. There's a I don't know what his name is. I haven't watched it in years because it's not broadcast here. It's like an old Wall Street trader that moved to the UK, and he was talking about Bitcoin and how it's the future of money and blah blah blah, and it just got up to $12, and I was like, yeah, maybe I'll buy 100 of those just to have them in my pocket. And then I looked, and it was like, oh, it's already $30. It's a bubble, right?
Yep, that's a lot to ask. 30
I
bucks
was
for a
like, I don't
bitcoin.
think I'm willing to spend $3,000. So I invested them into some business that went down the hill, like dramatically burned. So there
Ugh.
I am now without my 100 Bitcoin. But life's life.
Yep.
You make mistakes. It is what it is. And I was on the verge of going like, yeah, let's do this. I'm just gonna, a little bit of my savings, like 10% of my savings, I'm gonna put that in. And then I looked at it literally the next day when I wanted to buy it. It was like $30, and I was like, fuck, this is insane. This is gonna pop, right? This
Oh
bubble's
yeah.
gonna pop so bad. I'm gonna lose some money, so much money. And then within weeks, it was at $1,000 per Bitcoin. And
I
that was
know.
the
Every
first
time you
boom.
think it's like that's got to be the top, it isn't.
Yeah,
Not
well, it is what it
not
is.
that we're giving trading advice, folks. We know nothing. We know.
None of
Don't
this
listen
advice
to
is
any of
trading.
our financial advice.
100%. None of this is advice or financial advice.
Indeed.
But yeah, those were the days.
So back to my earlier question: do we want to
Yeah.
keep both the instances, or should we toss one?
I want to keep them all. Look,
All
we have
right.
4 instances to place.
All
So
right. All right.
yeah, this is how these games go sometimes. This is how these games go sometimes. What are you gonna do, right? So he
Okay.
threw away instances.
Yeah. See, strategically, getting more of the cards that are worth 2 points as opposed to the 1 pointers, I think is
Right.
what it's after. So we didn't get
See,
any energy.
yeah, see, I wouldn't do that because I see like the value of just placing cards, even if you don't secure them. But what we could do it because there's a lot of cards, even though they're 1 point cards, we could secure the replica because we have only 1 point to use right now. Use
Um,
that IAM card.
we
Oh,
don't
that's
have
not
we don't
ours.
have an RDS, do we?
Oh, that's not ours. I was thinking that RDS the on the
No,
right in the
we could
bottom
claim a
right.
couple instances.
We could play an instance, yeah. We only have one.
Oh,
We could play an instance, sure.
we played an instance. All right.
Yeah, let's
So
drop the buckets. There's no buckets in this scenario.
I think that's the cross region replication
Yeah.
here.
Oh, that's the buckets. Okay. Yeah, okay.
So maybe we
Oh,
keep
phew,
one bucket.
yeah. Well, in this case, there's a cross regional scenario. You could even save money on the I didn't even notice that cross-regional application. You could save money by snapshotting your database like every 5 minutes and not have a replica there and just ship cross-region every 5 minutes, ship that dump to the other side. That would be a way more cost-effective way of doing things for
Right.
pilot light.
That's what I was thinking. Because if, like you said, it depends on what their recovery point objective is. You know how often they're making the snapshots. But if they can restore from a snapshot, then I mean they could set it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour. You know whatever that happens to be.
Yeah. Because like cross-region snapshots, you could take them every 5 minutes. They're just they're just incremental.
Well, this is the tricky part. I don't know if cross region replication has a specified, like an SLA specifying how quickly it does the transfer. It's like as quick as it can go, but that's going to depend on the time of day. And yeah,
Right.
back to our original point about the
Cool. Yeah, let's
recovery
go back
time
to original
objective.
point.
Okay, so we're done with our turn, or do we want to get rid of a bucket?
We're done with our turn. Let's keep the buckets.
Whoa,
Yeah,
flying saucer just
we're
came
gonna
through.
lose some. Oh, I thought we were gonna lose some.
It's just reminding us. I think the alien comes up and smacks the board.
Yeah,
Yeah, just like in real life. So
just like it.
we didn't get any more.
I mean, he's gonna smack the board, so IAM wouldn't be a bad idea at this point. Just because there's many cards to place, we're not gonna place cards before he smacks us.
All right, are we keeping all of this?
We can throw some away because
Throw a bucket, maybe.
yeah, throw a bucket, throw an in, yeah, throw a bucket. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Less unique and meaningful names we have to come up with then.
Yeah, he's definitely going to clear the board. And I really want to have as much. Oh, there we go. CLI. Yeah, baby. Bucket and IAM or ELB and IAM. Bucket and IAM. And then we're good. It's gonna clear the board, I have a feeling.
I certainly hope so.
Well, I mean that's what we're counting on right now.
We are. Consequences for ignoring security.
There it is. There it is. I told you.
Oh, he's
Clear the
draining
board.
everyone's energy as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. He took his own bucket away. We got a CLI. Yay. ELB and IAM?
You don't have to ask me twice.
Don't have to ask you to IAM something, huh?
No.
Okay.
You want a security group, a WAF, or an IAM? I'm all over it. All right.
Brandon's your man.
That's right.
Brandon's the security. Security.
I think,
Job zero.
yeah,
Right?
I'm a suspicious sort. I'm expecting the whole world to be out to get me. Or
True.
in this case, the other
Sometimes
world.
they are. What now?
Well, we could throw away a few of these and just roll again.
I think we need to because we've got. I wouldn't worry about the RDSs. They're expensive to steal.
Yeah, okay.
They're expensive to steal, and we don't have energy.
And
I would keep the bucket. ELB is expensive to steal,
I'm thinking we drop EC2.
but we need to play CC2 to win.
Right, but do we want to
We're 8 to
prolong that and
6. Look at the
steal and
score. We're 8 to 6.
yeah.
So all we need is basically 1 point to tie and 2 points to win. So we
Okay,
need
so
2
you're
more
saying
energy
let's not
because-
throw anything.
Yeah, let's not throw. I
Okay.
mean, we can throw ELB because it takes 3 points to steal it,
All right.
and that makes room for potentially more energy.
That's my main concern is that we have enough energy.
Yeah. All right, so now we need to place the bucket. There's no other way for us to win this.
No energy.
Place the bucket and throw away everything. Except IAM. I mean, keep one instance in IAM. Maybe. He doesn't have enough energy to steal. Oh, now he does, yeah. It's over. Let's hope he doesn't steal a bucket. It's over. We win.
Yeah.
There we go. Fast and loose sometimes works.
In development.
In development.
In
yeah.
development.
In development, for sure. Yeah, that's it's an interesting. Pilot light is an interesting. Excuse me. Pilot light is an interesting.
Yeah, it's a fun concept to discuss, and it's like variations of that with a like a full active at the other end of the expense.
Yeah, I feel like pilot light. You could do it in many different ways, and you could set up many different procedures in scenarios on how to recover. It's yeah, it can be.
And for those of you watching at home, Pilot Light is a concept that shows up on the Solutions Architect Associate exam. So
That's true. That's true.
all right, should we go ahead?
Exactly true.
Should we go ahead and pause and take a brief break at least? I could use a drink.
I think we can also call it for today because
All right.
we've got we've gone through all the sort of basic portions of both Gen AI, of everything but Gen AI is what I meant to say. I'm getting tired as well. And yeah, I think we're gonna call it for today. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you found this little game interesting. It's free. It's on AWS Skill Builder. We'll put a link in the video description as well to the game. Yeah, my name is Marco,
And I'm Brandon.
and this was Megabytes.